All right, guys, this is 9.48, adding and subtracting rational expressions. This is just kind of the intro one. There is a homework assignment for it, and then I'm going to break down adding and subtracting rational expressions into two sections, 9.4 and 9.5. So they'll get progressively more difficult, so make sure that you understand what we're doing before you move on to the next section. So when you add and subtract fractions, and this is just basic, arithmetic, you have to have a common denominator, so it has to be the same. For example, if I'm adding 3 over 4 plus 5 over 4, they have the same number in the bottom, so you can add them. When you add, you are only combining the numerator, okay? So remember that. You only combine the numerator. Okay, you never change what's in the denominator. So then we have 3 plus 5 is 8, and then you always simplify as your last step. Okay, that's all we're doing. Here our denominator is x. It's the same in both of our fractions, so we add across. 3 plus 5 is 8. The denominator does not change. It did not become 2x, so it's 8 over x, which does not simplify. Here we have something a little more complicated. We have 4 plus x over 2 plus 2 minus 2x over 2. They both have the same denominator, so we just combine the numerators. If there's ever a negative here, if you're subtracting, you have to remember to distribute it, okay, which we'll get to. So then you're here, we have 4 plus x, which was this numerator, plus 2 minus 2x, which is this numerator, and then you have to combine like terms here. So we have 4 and 2, 4 plus 2 is 6. X minus 2x is going to give you negative x in the numerator, and then that 2 just comes over. If you could simplify here, you would, but we don't. Okay, so you always want to factor whenever possible, whether it's at the end. As they get more difficult, you'll start to factor in the beginning, but you won't really need that for this section. So we're going to add x over x minus 6 plus 7 over x minus 6. We have x minus 6 here, x minus 6 here. So you just combine the numerators. Okay, there's nothing that we can factor or simplify or anything, and that's what we have there. If I wanted you to find the extraneous values, you would set the denominator equal to 0, so x cannot be equal to positive 6 here. Here's an example where I was talking about where you have to distribute that negative. We're subtracting. First thing you do is make sure that you have a common denominator. X minus 3 is the same, so x minus 3 is your denominator, and then you're just going to carry everything over. So you have x squared minus 4 minus, and I'm going to put this in parentheses. Both of these could be in parentheses. So 2x minus 1 here. Now you need to make sure that you distribute that negative correctly. So this didn't change at all, so we have x squared minus 4 minus 2x plus 1, right? Negative, positive, over x minus 3. Okay, so we've combined them. Combine your like terms. We can combine the negative 4 and the plus 1. X squared minus 2x, negative 4 plus 1 is negative 3 over x minus 3. And this is where you would have to factor this so that you could simplify it. Okay, so that we have our t, the factors of negative 3 that sum to negative 2, negative 3 times 1. So we have x minus 3 times x plus 1 over x minus 3. Those are going to cancel, so your answer here is just x plus 1. Okay, that's it for that one. I have one more example for you guys, and it looks a little more complicated, but don't worry too much. You notice right off the bat that they have the same denominator. So if you wanted to, you could factor here and then combine them. Here I would just combine and then factor. So we have x plus 7 on the top plus x plus 1 over here, all over 2x squared plus 14x plus 20. Combine our like terms. We have x plus x is 2x. 7 plus 1 is 8. Now be careful here, guys. You're going to want to FOIL sometimes. We're not multiplying anywhere in these examples. All we're doing is adding or subtracting. Okay? All over 2x squared plus 14x plus 20. And we need to find, now we're going to want to factor so that we can simplify. So the numerator, we can pull out a 2x plus 4 here. Then you're going to want to do your t-chart. So we can actually pull out a 2 there, so that we have x squared plus 7x plus 10. Okay. And then we're going to have our factors here. So we have 1 times 10 is 10. That's summed to 7, so that's going to be 5 times 2. So that's x plus 5, x plus 2 here. And that's it. Okay, so we know that the 2's are going to simplify, and that's it here. Did I add those right? Let's see, 2x plus 8, yeah, okay. So then that's your answer, and I'm not going to ask you to FOIL or anything, guys. You can leave your answers in factored form. And that's it, okay? So that's it for this section. It's nothing too difficult. There is one Khan Academy. Here's your practice problems. There's 2 of them here, but they're nothing too hard. If you have any questions, let me know.